Good evening, welcome to Baking 201. I am Mercy, as you know, and we are gonna get rocking and rolling. Tonight we're making chocolate mousse with whipped cream. So as per your homework email, you should already have your attachments and your bowl in the freezer for your whipped cream, and you should have your mise en place in place. So first we're gonna make the whipped cream, and then we're gonna make the chocolate mousse. So your whipped cream, you should have your mise en place ready. That consists of 2 cups of heavy cream, half a cup of powdered sugar, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla. So I'm just gonna pull my heavy cream out the fridge. I'm gonna show you all my mise en place. There it is right there. 2 cups of heavy cream, half a cup of powdered sugar, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla. All right, so we are gonna get that started. I also have my mise en place ready for my mousse. And I'm just gonna move that out of the way. There's my mise en place for my mousse. I'm gonna move that out of the way so that I can start on my whipped cream. Okay, so hearts in the chat if you had your attachments in the freezer. And we are gonna get going. All right, Samaria's ready. Jaquel, you ready? Okay, so go ahead, take your attachments and your bowls out of the freezer, and we're gonna get right into it, making our whipped cream. Okay, so we learned that when we make whipped cream, it's important for you to freeze the bowl and the attachments. Make sure that everything is very clean, and you don't want to touch it. Hi, Katrina. And you don't want to touch it. That way you're not bringing any heat to it. The colder that your bowl is and your attachment is, the quicker and the better it's going to be to create your stable whipped cream. Blessings to you as well. I don't know, a little something in my bowl. All right, so can you see that? Look at that, nice and frosty. All right, so let's rock and roll. Okay, and the fan is blowing my sheet here. Okay, so in your large bowl, you're gonna beat your heavy cream. So let's go ahead and put our 2 cups of heavy cream in there. And this was cold, that should have been cold. Attachment to fall off here. Okay, so always start on a low setting, and then you're going to gradually work your way up as your cream starts to thicken, and then that way you don't get the heavy cream all over the kitchen. Okay, so we're starting on low. We're going to go ahead and increase it, and you're going to continue to increase it until you get to high, and then it's going to start to thicken. And then we're also going to put our 1 tablespoon of vanilla in here as well. So go ahead and do that now. So you've got your heavy whipping cream, and you've got your vanilla inside of there. So go ahead and turn that on, turn that up. I forgot to tell you all to go ahead, put your hair up and start your sink. So I'm gonna go ahead and start mine. That way you can clean as you go. So get your sink started. I'm going to increase the speed on mine, starting to thicken a little bit. All right. Thank you for liking the live. Don't forget to grab your daily heartbeats unless you already did. Okay. So my heavy cream is increasing a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn it up a little bit more. Got a few splashes there, but not that bad. Okay, so let that go. rocking and rolling out there. Mine looks really good. I'm gonna increase it another level. Now I'm completely all the way up on my cream. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn mine off. I'm gonna pull it up just so you can see my whisk. So see, that's pretty stiff right there. So we're at a great spot. So now we are going to add our powdered sugar, and that is half a cup. So I'm just gonna do like a half of that, which is a quarter. I'm gonna add half of that first and go ahead and again, start low. And then bring it all the way up to high. Okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and see how stable that is. Hi, Dr. Johnson. Thank you for the heart knees. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of my powdered sugar. And again, start on low so you don't have sugar all over the kitchen. And then I'm gonna grab my spatula. Okay, so what we are looking for is stiff peaks, and mine is pretty much there, but I'm gonna go ahead and scrape down the sides and then let it go a little bit more. But you can see right here, my peaks are very stiff. It's not dropping, they're not moving, so my whipped cream is ready. I'm just gonna go ahead and swipe down the sides just to make sure that I've incorporated all of the powdered sugar in there. I'm gonna spin it just a little bit longer, and then this can go into the fridge and we can go on to next steps. It's also very important not to mix your whipped cream too much because if you start going too far, then your whipped cream is gonna turn into butter. Okay, and you don't want that. All right, so mine looks really good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get that out of the attachment. Okay, and I'm gonna be using the same bowl. Am I gonna use this bowl? Yeah, I'm gonna use this bowl to work on my mousse. So I'm gonna transfer my whipped cream to a different bowl, and then I'm gonna wash this stuff. So if that's the same case for you, I'm just giving you a heads up because I'm gonna be doing the same thing. Okay. And let me just find a bowl to put this in. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and move that knife. Safety in the kitchen. Okay, so I'm gonna show you all my whipped cream. Hello. So that's nice and stable. You see that's not moving at all. I'm gonna take a tasting spoon and go ahead and taste it. Even though I've made this a million bajillion times, I know what it tastes like. Tastes good, still tastes good. Okay, so I'm gonna transfer this to a different container and then get started on my mousse. And you should be right along with me. Thank you for liking the live. Last week we got to 50,000. Our goal was 100,000. Do you think we can get there tonight? I'm gonna turn this a little bit so y'all can see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm just transferring all my whipped cream into the bowl. If I were not on camera, I would definitely lick this spatula, but I'm not gonna do that. You all can do it if you want to because I can't see you. Okay, because I'm gonna use these guys. So I've got my whipped cream that's nice and stable. It's not moving at all. So I'm gonna pop that in the refrigerator and move on to next steps. Okay, so purple hearts in the chat. If you all are done with your whipped cream, I'm going to go ahead and wash my attachments. And I want to see the purple hearts so that I know you all are with me. If you need a little more time, put some stop signs. Put some stop signs in there to let me know. Alright, looks like we've got purple hearts. Everyone's good. Okay, so we are making the chocolate mousse tonight. When it comes to the mousse, you can make your mousse with the gelatin or without. I decided for tonight we were going to make our mousse without the gelatin for two reasons. One, so that you can see you can achieve a stable chocolate mousse without gelatin. And two, just in case you're someone who does not eat gelatin, I was also wanting to be conscious of that as well. Okay? So we are making chocolate mousse without gelatin tonight, and it's going to be very stable. So let me just shift this stuff around a bit right here. You are ready to go. Like the live, double tap the screen, grab your daily heart leaves, put some purple hearts in the chat. We are ready to go. We are rocking and rolling. Let's start with cold water. Attaching it there. Got my bowl and attachment washed. All right, so next we are moving on to our chocolate mousse. I can't wait to see how yours turns out. I can't wait to see the creativity that you came up with for your dessert glasses. Remember, I showed you guys these last week. That's how I'm doing my plate presentation. And from here on out, you want to make sure that you pay attention to that, okay? Just as much effort and care as you put into your recipes, you want to do the same thing with the components that you're putting them inside, because people eat with their eyes first, right? So as nice, as pretty as you can make your bakes before you or anyone else eats them, you want to pay attention to that as well. Okay, so for the chocolate mousse, let me grab my mise en place. Yours should be done as well. And I noticed on the material list, I did not add the scale. That was what the scale was for this recipe, one item, your chocolate. So if you have a kitchen scale, great. If not, hopefully whatever chocolate you grabbed, you are meeting the recipe with your 6 ounces. Okay. All right, so here's my mise en place for the chocolate mousse, and we're gonna go over this. See if y'all can see that. Thank you for liking the live. Okay, so we have our 6 ounces of semi-sweet or dark chocolate, and I put on there high quality. Tonight, I'm using Ghirardelli semi-sweet. Not only is this my favorite chocolate, but it is a high quality chocolate as well. That is probably the most important part of making this recipe. You want to use a really high quality chocolate because you are going to shock the elements of the chocolate. You know, initially we're going to heat it, then we're going to cool it, and then we're going to refrigerate it. So it really takes a high quality premium chocolate to go through those temperature phases and make sure, one, not only are we going to keep our mousse stable, but you're not losing out on texture or flavor as well. I'm missing the comments. I didn't buy enough chocolate, so I'm gonna cut the recipe in half. Okay, careful when doing that. How do I measure chocolate without a scale? Let me know, how did you purchase the chocolate? And maybe I can break it up, because I know a pound is 16 ounces. Half a pound would be 8 ounces. So you need a little less than half a pound. Glitz and Goodies by Kay, thank you for watching. So you're gonna be a fly on the wall tonight. Just make sure that you double tap your screen, okay? Just tap, tap, tap. Help us get to that 100,000. And I'm doing this on my phone, so I can't Google. Babe, can you do me a favor? Can you Google how many cups in 8 ounces? Cups? Yeah, and then we can get the measurement for that. So you have a 4-ounce bar, which is perfect. That's what these are too. These are like 4-ounce bars, so you'll need a little bit more than this.
It says 1 cup and 8 ounces fluid.
Okay, so basically you would need 1 cup. So you can take your chocolate bar and then fill up a 1 cup measurement, a 1 cup liquid, 1 cup liquid measurement. Okay, so let me move on from there. So 6 ounces of semi-sweet or dark chocolate. I'm doing semi-sweet tonight. 3 tablespoons of softened butter. 3 large eggs with the yolks and the whites separated. Y'all can see that. I have my yolks here and my whites there. There's the butter. 1 cup of whipped cream, that's in the fridge. So the whipped cream that we just made, we're gonna grab a cup of that when we get to that step. 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of cream of tartar, and 2 tablespoons of chocolate shavings. So I have my chocolate brick right here, and then we'll shave that at the end. Okay, so for the first step, we are gonna melt our butter and chocolate. And for this step, you can do one of 2 things to melt your chocolate. You can either do the double boiler method, or you can do the microwave method. I'm going to, is it okay if there's like a smidge of yolk in the egg whites? Yes, that's okay. And hi, Brandy. Yeah, that's okay. You'll be okay. I'm gonna do the double boiler method, but if you don't have a heat-safe, pot that you can do this with, then just go ahead and do, you're welcome, go ahead and do the microwave method. So let me find my little pot in here. I can't see. All right, let me see if this one, okay, that one's too big. Let's see. Okay, that might work. All right, so we're gonna do the double boiler method. So I've got a small pot and a small bowl. My chocolate's already in here. So on the pot here, we're gonna put about 1.5 cups of water, okay? So go ahead and do that, and then you're gonna get it going on the oven. I'm gonna move you guys over here. Let's see if I can zoom in. Okay, right there. See if that's okay right there. Okay, so got about 1.5 cups of water. I'm gonna put a little bit more, about 1.5 cups of water in your little pot. And then you want that to come to like just about a boil. So I'm gonna turn it up high just for time's sake so we can heat that up. While your water is heating up, go ahead and get your small bowl and then you can break up your chocolate bar into your bowl. Okay, these are just little squares. I'm just gonna break them just a little bit more. Okay, if you're using the microwave method, go ahead and break up your chocolate into your bowl, and then you're gonna put your 3 tablespoons of butter. You're gonna put your 3 tablespoons of butter, and then you're gonna microwave it in 20-second intervals. Okay, and I know that seems tedious, but the reason why you wanna do that is so you don't scorch, your chocolate. Okay, yeah, so if you bought bittersweet chocolate, that's okay. Okay, so there's milk chocolate, there's bittersweet chocolate, there's semi-sweet chocolate, there's dark chocolate, okay? And basically, from as far as like the flavor profile is concerned, is how much cacao or cocoa is in your chocolate. So if you have a bittersweet, that's okay if you like that flavor, okay? If that makes sense. So it's not gonna affect your recipe as far as the way that you're cooking it. It's gonna affect the taste as far as your preference, if that makes sense. So if you want a really, really rich mousse, you would get a dark chocolate because that's gonna have the deepest concentration of the cocoa in it. And then you go up from there. If you want more of a lighter taste on your mousse, then you would have chose a milk chocolate. But for recipe, I put on there semi-sweet or dark, because to me, personally, those two have the better flavor profiles when it comes to a mousse, but it'll still come out okay. It's not gonna affect what happens during the cooking process, okay? So let me check on my water. All right, good. So we've got a nice little bubble going on there. So this is a heat-safe Pyrex dish. So I'm gonna go ahead and sit that on top of the pot. Can you all see that? Okay, I think you can see that. All right, and then I'm gonna grab my little spatula. Where'd I put it? Oh, right here, right in front of my face. Okay, so again, if you're using the microwave method, do it in 20-second intervals. That way you don't scorch your chocolate. So pop it in, the chocolate and the butter in a microwave-safe bowl. Go ahead, 20 seconds in and out, and you want to stir in between the times that you put it in and out of the microwave, okay? Get that to about 80% melted, and then you want to bring that out and then go ahead and stir it until it's completely melted and smooth in your bowl. If you are doing it this way, on the double boiler method, you can melt it all the way until it's smooth. And the difference on those is just basically when you do the double boiler method, it's not really going to scorch the chocolate the way that a microwave would scorch. So I'm just mixing this around so that I am, escalating the time of the chocolate melting. If that makes sense. Okay. Hope everyone's doing great out there. If you're a fly on the wall, make sure you're liking the live. My chocolate is coming out very well. Hey, Anna! Welcome to class. Double tap that screen, girl. And everyone say hi to Anna. Make sure you follow her. If you haven't already, you probably already are. Anna is our favorite, and she was our advisor last semester. So show her some love. Okay, my chocolate is just about done. And can you all see this? Babe, can you see this pretty good? I feel like you can on the camera. It's really good. My mod's not paying attention, you guys. I'm on my own here.
I'm watching it.
All alone. I'm all alone. Okay. I'm gonna move my scale. I had already weighed out my chocolate. Oh, thank you for the big shout out. I missed it. Let's see what I have over here. Okay, so whether you're doing the microwave method or whether you're doing the double boiler method, your chocolate should be done. Okay. So make sure you turn off your burner of your double boiler, and then you bring your chocolate over. This smells so good. Good enough to eat. So move some of this stuff out of the way here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, my bowl's not that hot. All right, thank you for the roses. Thank you for sharing the live. Okay, so I've got my chocolate melted here. And you know what? I just realized that I didn't put my butter in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my butter in here. I'm telling you guys to put your butter, I didn't even put mine. But that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and put my butter in here because I'm like, this looks like it's low. Okay. So I'm gonna turn that back on and heat up that butter. The chocolate smells so good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let that go so I can move on. All right, so we did step number 1, we just melted our butter and chocolate. Step number 2 is let the mixture cool for a few minutes. So your chocolate and butter should be completely melted, incorporated together, nice and smooth. Go ahead and set that to the side. And now we're gonna move on to number 3, and that is whisking in our egg yolks one at a time. So let me mix. Almost done. Okay. That needs, sorry about that guys, that needs a little bit more time. So let me see if I can skip your step to your whites. No, I probably shouldn't skip ahead. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna use this bowl. Purple hearts in the chat if you are ready for step number 3. And if you have any questions for what we've done so far, you can let me know. All right, I see 1 set of purple hearts there. Okay, so your chocolate and butter, okay good, another set coming up. So your chocolate and butter, we want it to cool. We don't want it to be too hot so that when we incorporate the eggs, we don't want to cook them. So let me take my chocolate off. There's mine. See, that goes really fast. Yeah, that looks a lot better because I was like, this does not look like enough chocolate. It's crazy how your instinct, like when you've done stuff a few times, you can just kind of tell. Okay, so now I am going to transfer my chocolate into my medium bowl. And then that's going to help them cool down. Help it cool down. Okay, so next we are going to incorporate the egg. So you should have your egg yolks separated from your egg white. So now we are going to whisk in our egg yolk, not the egg white. We're going to whisk that in one egg at a time until your mixture is smooth. And it should already be like this. It should already be pretty smooth, you know, at this point. And what I do is I'm losing everything tonight. Oh, here it is. What did I do with it? Okay, so one egg at a time. We are doing the yolk. Okay, just whisk that really good. Can you all see my bowl? Move it over some. Okay. So whisk that in really good. You want it to be fully incorporated. Okay, one egg at a time. You should see the chocolate lighten a little bit in color. And that's gonna let you know that you've got it incorporated pretty well there. Okay, I've got some yolk here on my dish, so I'm just gonna scrape that in there. Okay, so now I've got my 3 egg yolks whisked in here. Everything is nice and smooth. My chocolate lightened a little bit, so now I know I'm ready to move on to next steps. Okay, purple hearts in the chat if you're ready to move on to next steps. All right, so now we are going back to our mixer. Okay, so go ahead and grab your large bowl for your mixer and make sure that it's completely clean and dry, okay? Okay, I've got a stop sign in there so we can slow down just a little bit. Thank you for the gifts, Katrina. So on this step, make sure that your bowl is completely dry. Make sure that your whisk is completely dry. Okay, my bowl is nice and cold, completely dry. Hi Boxy, thanks for joining. Boxy 1132. Sure, yes, I'll turn off my burner. Nico, good evening. Okay, so make sure your bowl and your attachment are completely dry, and we're going to move on to next steps. Okay, on this step, we are now going to whisk, thank you for the heartbeat. We're now going to whisk our egg whites, and we're going to do it in 2 phases. We want to start with soft peaks and end up with stiff peaks, okay? All right, so number 4, in a large bowl with your stand or hand mixer, beat egg whites on medium-high speed until foamy, okay? So you can go ahead and put all 3 of your egg whites into your bowl. And then again, always start low when you're doing your mixing. Okay, I've got all 3 in. I'm gonna start low. And we want them to get to the foamy phase, okay? So start low, you can increase a little bit and then watch it until it gets foamy. Once it gets foamy, we're gonna move on to the next step, which is adding the cream of tartar. And then you're gonna beat it until you get soft peaks, okay? And I'm telling you that, hi my spicy laser. I'm telling you that ahead of time, just in case you get ahead of me. Okay, so you wanna initially whisk until it turns foamy. Once your egg whites are foamy, then you wanna add your cream of tartar and then whisk until they are soft peaks. And soft peaks, that means that they'll be able to fold back into themselves. They're not gonna stay stiff when you stop beating them. And let me see if I can bring you guys to my bowl. See if you can see in there. Okay, so that is foamy. Can you all see that? Okay, so my egg whites are foamy, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop and add my cream of tartar. Okay, see that? Nice and foamy. So I'm going to add my cream of tartar. Can't see the camera, hopefully it's still there. Okay, and then now I'm going to whisk this until the soft peaks form. Okay, you see that's nice and foamy. Gonna go ahead and increase the speed. And I can already see some of that tartar is on the side. You guys see that right there? So I'm gonna have to push that down. Okay, I'm gonna put you back over here. I've gotta make sure. So keep going and whisk your eggs white until soft peaks form. Okay, I'm gonna increase the speed. Okay, and this is medium to high. So I'm gonna increase the speed a little bit more. Thank you for liking the live. And we're trying to get to soft peaks. Again, soft peaks, you're gonna see them, start to stand up on their own, but you also want them to fall on their own, okay? You don't wanna go past the point to where they're no longer gonna fall. Okay, once you get to the part to where you have soft peaks, then you're going to gradually put in your sugar until you get stiff peaks. Okay, I'm almost there, and then I'll be able to show you once I get there. Okay, now I'm there. So now I can show you. I'll just move this again. I feel like you guys really need to see this one. Okay, so now you can see my eggs. You can see I have soft peaks. They're not completely stiff. So now I know, yes, I'm good to add my sugar. And now I'm gonna do that, and then a little bit at a time. Don't put all of the sugar. So a little bit at a time, maybe like a quarter of what you have. And go ahead, medium to high. And now you want the stiff peaks, okay? So now I've got it on pretty high. And then you're just gonna repeat that until you get all of your sugar in there. It looks like it's just gonna take about 3 rounds of adding the sugar in there until you get it to that level, okay? And the purpose of doing this, when you're adding the cream of tartar and you're whisking your eggs, getting these peaks, this is incorporating all the air into your bake, and that's going to help to stabilize your mousse. Okay, so this is a super, super important part here. And at this point, it should really just look like a white mousse. Okay, so now I've got all my sugar in there. I'm gonna have to scrape my sides down to make sure that all the sugar is incorporated in there. So yeah, so right now it should look like a white mousse or like a whipped cream. That's what your eggs should look like. And isn't this cool how it just started from those loose egg whites and now you have this nice fluffy airy consistency? This is how you make a stable whipped cream. A stable mousse. And so let me just show you that before I scrape the sides. So now you can see I'm basically there with my soft peaks, and you can see in the bowl that peak right there is not laying back down in itself. So this is where I want to be, but I'm actually going to beat it a little bit more because I can see, hi Darcel, I can see, just a little bit of sugar on the side. I want to make sure it gets all the way incorporated in that, so that way when you scoop it, you're not getting a crazy sugary bite. Okay. If you are ready with your stiff peaks of your egg whites, go ahead and put some purple hearts in the chat, and we will move on. Should be there. Everyone should be there at this point. Purple hearts. Anyone ready? All right, I got one. Okay, got some nice, all right, boom shakalaka. Look at all those purple hearts. Okay, beautiful. So now that we've got our nice stiff peaks, look at that, y'all, beautiful. So now that you have that, we're going to move on to number 7. In your medium bowl, fold in your egg whites, egg white mixture into your chocolate mixture. I can't talk tonight. Using your rubber spatula. The reason why you want to use the rubber spatula is because the spatula is gonna give, okay? See how it has a give in it? And it's really important that we don't blister, okay? See how it has a give in it? And it's really important that we don't blister the air, okay? That we don't pop the air, okay? So very carefully, you're gonna fold your egg whites into your chocolate mixture, and you're gonna fold from bottom to mixture, and you're gonna fold from bottom to top, okay? So I'm gonna bring a little bit of this off of here like that. This is beautiful. I can't wait to eat this. Okay, so I'm just doing a little bit like that just so you can see. And then you're gonna fold, okay? Don't stir, don't mix. You're gonna fold just like that, okay? Bottom to top. And do that until you have all of your egg white incorporated into your chocolate mixture. Trying to get all of that off of there. I guess that's pretty good. All right, so you're gonna do a nice fold. Remember, do not stir. You're gonna fold on this entire step. Okay? Do it this way for y'all to see. So I'm bringing on my egg whites like that, and I'm doing a nice fold, okay? Nice fold to incorporate. Beautiful. If you're a fly on the wall, make sure you're liking the live. Okay, don't stir. Make sure all of your motion in your bowl is a fold. Okay, go from the bottom to the top until you get all of your egg white in there. Fold, fold, fold. Amazing how much this is multiplied, right? Fold, fold, fold. Okay, so if you whipped up some really nice, airy, stiff peaks of your egg whites, that's half of the battle for the stabilization of your mousse, so where you don't have to use a gelatin. Okay? So just go ahead and fold all of that in. Bottom to top. And then we will move on to next steps. Okay, and then I'm just doing a nice little waving motion on the top to incorporate. Again, the idea here is not to stir the mixture, okay? All of your motion should be in a fold, if that makes sense. Okay, mine looks mostly incorporated. All right, so once you get your chocolate and egg white mixture completely incorporated, it should definitely be lighter in color for sure. Now you're gonna move on to step 8 and softly fold in your whipped cream. So from the batch that you made earlier, go ahead and scoop out 1 cup of whipped cream and add it to this mixture. 1 cup. So I'm gonna take my whipped cream from here, and I see I have a half a cup that I use. This is my 1 cup measure. I just can't find anything today. Oh, it's over here. I forgot I moved that bowl. Okay, so I'm just gonna do 1 cup. And if you're putting it in your bowl, just try not, I'm just lightly pressing it in there to measure that out, because you also need this for the other part of your stability. Okay, that's about 1 cup for me. So now I'm going to take that, gonna put all of that in here, and then gently fold that in there as well. I'm gonna eat that. So good. Okay, folding in my whipped cream here. My excess whipped cream, I'm off camera popping that back in the fridge, so you do the same so that your whipped cream stays cold. Okay, and then you're gonna do the same thing. Do a nice fold. and incorporate all of your whipped cream into your mixture. Okay, and again, the idea here is not to stir it, you want to fold it. The folding technique is going to keep the air in there. If you stir it, you're going to bruise all the air pockets and then it'll just fall flat. Okay, hope everyone's doing great out there. I'm just doing a nice little zhuzh like that at the top of mine. Let's see, did I tell you guys to have a scooper? Yes, okay. Okay, so I have pretty much gotten mine incorporated. Just doing this little motion here on the top, so you guys can see. Make sure yours is completely incorporated. Can anyone else smell the chocolate? I can smell the chocolate, it still smells so good. Ah, almost made a mess there. Okay, so once you get your mousse completely incorporated, you've got the whipped cream completely incorporated into that now, you're gonna grab your decorative glasses. We are moving on to step 9. You're gonna grab your decorative glasses and then you're going to put your mousse into your glasses, okay? And use your scooper. I think before, like I've done this with the piping bag, like a pastry bag. I've done it with that before. Saying I can't verify. Give me a second here. Solve a puzzle, I'm still awake. All right, so I've done it with the pastry bag before and it gets really messy. It is more controlled that way, but it's really messy. So I've opted to have you guys do yours with a scooper and hopefully it doesn't, you know, get too messy. Okay, so mine is completely incorporated. Look at that, smells amazing. Thank you for grabbing your heart me. Okay, so I've got my cute little glasses here. Got 3 of them. And so this recipe calls for 6 servings. So I can put 2 servings in each glass. You know, 6 servings. So if you have 2 glasses, 3 and 3, 3 glasses, 2, 2, 2, 6 glasses, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And where's my scooper? I just moved everything. All right, so I'm going to neatly scoop into here and try not to make a mess. Let's see if I can achieve that. Let's see if I can achieve that. So you all do the same. Nope, I hit the sides, like aeration, don't hit the sides. So you all do the same. Go ahead and scoop your mousse into your decorative glasses. Okay, I've got one. That looks so good. Oh, and taste it. Grab a tasting spoon. Go ahead and taste it. Tastes so good. Make you want to slap your mama. Hopefully there's no kids in here. Sorry. Don't do that, guys. Don't slap your mom. Okay. my best not to get the mousse on the side of the glass, but I don't want to say I'm failing epically, but it's happening. It's happening. Okay. Okay, number 2. We got one more. Okay, and then as you can see, next, these are going into the refrigerator to chill, okay? And we want them to chill for at least 2 hours. In our case, you know, really you can chill it overnight. But this recipe, at least 2 hours of a chill in your fridge, and it'll set and be ready to serve. Okay, so I'm almost done. I think I'm gonna switch to the spatula, see if I can't make a mess here. Can you all see that? So in the restaurant, when we're scraping stuff, like you see how there's all this in the bowl, you want to scrape it and get it all, and we say food costs, and that just basically means like get as much, and that just basically means like get as much of your product as you can, because everything costs, right? So this could be the difference between, you know, one serving. Because look at all that just from me scraping down the sides. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that in there. I think all of this is gonna go in here. And right now I can tell I have a problem because I just want to like lick the spoon, lick the bowl. I don't know if the same thing is happening to you, but my inner thoughts are intrusive right now. Okay, so I guess I'll have to leave the camera angle like this. Oops, turn the volume back up. All right, so this is 6 servings. Okay, so however you have, whatever you decided on your glasses, like I said, I can't wait to see those. So I want to see the 6 servings of that. So now we have this here. You've already tasted it. We are going to cover it and then put it into the fridge. So, oh, here we go. Grab my cling wrap. So again, this is going to chill for a minimum of 2 hours. If you're on East Coast time and you've got to taste this, or not taste this, if you're on East Coast time and you have to put your whipped cream in the morning, that's fine. If you're on West Coast time and you want to wait out the 2 hours and do it tonight, that's fine as well. But once you get this covered, like if you want to take it out tonight and do your whipped cream tonight, set a 2-hour timer. If you're going to do it tomorrow, it just sits overnight and you're good to go, okay? So I'm gonna take and wrap each one, okay? And then, you know, say like if you have some small bowls, you can put them all on a tray like this, and then cover your tray in plastic wrap and put that in the fridge. But you just want to make sure, however you accomplish this step, you just want to make sure that they're all covered, okay? All right, number 2. Thank you for liking the live. All right, so I've got 2 of 3 covered. That's gonna go into the fridge to chill. This one I'm not gonna cover yet. I'm gonna do my whipped cream step. You're just gonna watch. Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put my cups into chill. Okay, so if you are going to wait the 2 hours tonight and put your whipped cream so that you can eat your mousse tonight, same, I feel you. You can do that. If you're gonna wait until tomorrow, that's fine as well. But I just wanted to go ahead and do this step in front of you. And so you're essentially turning in your homework tomorrow. So once your mousse has set, you're going to pipe your whipped cream on top. And remember, we are now all about presentation. So no longer are you just gonna grab a spoon and just plop your whipped cream on top of something, right? You're gonna make it nice. So that's where your piping bag and your tips come in. I'm actually gonna use what's called a coupler, okay? And what a coupler does is it allows you to interchange tips on the same bag. You don't have to do this, but I'm extra, so I'm just gonna show you guys a little bit of options, okay? So I'm just going to put my options, okay? So I'm just going to put my coupler on my bag so I can just show you a couple of things with your whipped cream. Okay, and if you've got your mousse, okay, and if you've got your mousse already in your glasses and covered, go ahead and take a picture of that, okay? So I want to see your I don't want to say unstable. I want to see your loose mousse wrapped in plastic, and then I want to see your final one, okay? So when you send your homework, you're going to send me 2 pictures. All right, so I've got my little coupler on here. This is the Wilton 1M. Well, it's actually not a 1M. This, I grabbed a 2D on accident, but they're essentially the same. So this is a Wilton 2D, and I'm gonna put my coupler on here. Doesn't wanna go. And that's because this one is too small. I just grabbed the wrong tip on everything. Let's see here, friends. Oh, that's what it is. This is the wrong one. I have so many of these things. Thank you for the roses. Thank you for liking the live. Make sure you grab your daily heart me of your mousse. Got that covered. Put that in the fridge, and now you're watching the whipped cream demo. Okay. Grab the wrong coupler. There you go. Wait, they're fine. Alright, so we'll use this one. Alright. This is a 2D. It's really close to the effect that a 1M will do. Alright, so that's all there. Nice and secure. Okay. So now we're gonna take our whipped cream. Okay. So you can get creative with your whipped cream. I'm just gonna show you with your 1M, because again, presentation is everything, right? So we're just gonna use a little bit here. Okay, so now I've got my whipped cream in here. Okay, so after you've got your stable mousse tomorrow, just go ahead and, you know, do a really nice presentation with your whipped cream. So instead of, you know, again, having that blob on the top, see you have a nice pretty glass. And then I'm just gonna take that, I'm gonna swirl it. Ooh, it's sinking. It's sinking because it's not stable, but that's okay. You guys get the idea, right? So you wanna have something cute on top. And then you're gonna take your chocolate shaving and then you're going to shave some chocolate with your zester. And again, if you have your grater, you can do that too. Okay, can we see that? Look how cute! All right, so that's tomorrow. Okay, so step 1 on your homework, your loose mousse with the plastic wrap on top. Okay, I want to see this. Your loose mousse with your plastic wrap on top. And then phase 2 is after 2 hours of its setting, you're going to do your whipped cream and your chocolate shavings. Okay, so that's one way. And then I just wanted to do another one. I'm just going to pull that out of there. Okay. And see, this is trying to set already. So if you have alternate tips, just, you know, get creative. So that was that Wilton 1M, she said. I'm gonna put a little bit more whipped cream in here, and then I'm gonna do a Wilton 6B, and this is that really nice star, the big star. I like that one. Okay, so see the coupler, you can interchange the tips and not have to change what you have in the bag. And that'll be something that we'll do week 7 when we're doing our cakes. Okay, so I'm just gonna put some more whipped cream in there. And again, I wanna see your creativity when it comes to this, okay? So now, this is that alternate tip, and same concept, but you know, it's just got a different look to it. See that? I kind of like that one better. What do you guys think? See, so cute. And then go ahead and put your chocolate shavings on top. Okay, don't forget the shavings. Okay, and if you wanna, you know, you can probably break this and do some crumbles. You can put some chocolate chips. You know, if you wanna get fancy with the spices and do something in addition to your chocolate chips, chocolate shavings, go for it. So look at that. Beautiful, right? Okay, so we're done for tonight. All right, so again, for homework, 2 pictures. You're sending me 2 pictures. The first one is your loose mousse covered in plastic. And then the second one is your chilled mousse with your whipped cream design and chocolate shavings. Okay? Picture 1 and picture 2. Or 1 and 2. I don't know if the camera's backwards or not. All right? Got it? Okay.